was watching a different fight there, but nevertheless, GG's to Boxing Fanatico, making it through to the finals on the left side of the bracket. And hats off to Prioxis and appreciate you for taking part. Next, we have the second semi-final of the evening in Ben Jammy versus Nang. We saw the firepower, we saw the pressure, and we saw all of Ben Jammy's ammunition, unless he's got more to bring to the ring in against Nang, who is going for Thomas Hearns in the second semi-final here. Guys, Boxer, what is your prediction? What is your analysis on this fight?
Wow, man, I'm still reeling over the last fight, man. It's just, man, I'm seeing people all in the chat like Pry1, Boxing 1, like, yo, it's crazy. I'm pretty sure Boxing Fanatico gonna break that down for us. But yeah, let me talk about this new fight here, man. I mean, this is gonna be the fight of all fights. We talking about Name versus Ben Jammy. These guys are the best of the best. We know we got thousands and thousands of wins there and experience there from both of these fighters. So we looking at Name, and Name here is one of the best defensive fighters, like we said, and we saw it. Ben Jammy is one of those guys that's also very defensive. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw another Thomas Hearns pickup. So a lot of people want to see now Thomas Hearns versus Sugar Ray Leonard. This is going to be a good one because we already seen what Thomas Hearns can do. But can Thomas Hearns put it together enough?
Hey, that record, sorry, Boxer.
Get it done.
That record.
Yeah, that
Boxer.
record. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
All right, so again, we looking at that reach there from that Name is going to have with Thomas Hearns. But then we already know Sugar Ray Leonard has the power upstairs. He already has the endurance. He already has the stamina to last all of these rounds. This is going to be a good one. You know, with Thomas Hearns, you're going to have to find a way to get on the inside and really do your damage. You know, his combinations are not as fast, so you might be able to outpoint Thomas Hearns. But when he touches you, it might be a short night. So you got to be able, you know, if you're Thomas Hearns, to put a lot of those power punches together a lot more frequent. But this is going to be a crazy fight. And the winner of this, you got Boxing Fanatico waiting for you in the finals, Pressy. Don't get no better than this.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Looking forward to this one. And if anything, I just can't wait. I just looked at the chat and I saw someone say EBL2. Absolutely can't wait. Insane. Like, I'm just absorbing this whole event, the atmosphere, the electricity, and the crowd. Here we go. They touch gloves, and looks like some spoiling here from Leonard there. Maybe just trying to play some mind games or frustrate his opponent. Looks like we might be seeing a bit more of that here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go. These guys back and forward, just trying to register one another's footwork here, using that jab, pumping that left hook, that lead left hook there. No one really landing anything significant right off the bat here, but it looks like this fight is going to be an all-out war. I don't think it's going to be left to the judges' scorecard the way these guys have come swinging for the fences here, Boxer.
Yeah, they're coming out, and we saw that early clinch there. Maybe that's some mind games. Maybe that's a tactic we don't know yet. But maybe those guys just want to throw off the rhythm. But look at there, a lot of these counter punches here from Hearns, and you don't want to touch that the counter punches from Hearns because you know those jabs to his head is 17, but the jabs to the body, that's only an 8 or 9. But you're going to get a lot more damage because they're counter shots here. And that's what I'm already seeing, Pressy. In this first round here, a lot of counter punches landed, a lot of camera swings, a lot of camera flashes. That means that these punches are very powerful. And we know with Thomas Hearns, these can be some flash knockouts here. And this already is getting out to a very fast start, missing some punches. These guys filling each other out. I mean, this is already starting out looking very exciting here. Look at these power punches here. You can't take a lot of these coming from Hearns, Pressy.
Coming from Hearn, and he's planting that foot. As he's on the back foot, He takes that step and plants and rips that straight right down the pipe. Great stuff here. And it looks like someone's spoiling from the other side this time towards the end of round one. Mind games from both competitors. I'm going to ever so slightly, lean towards Nang for that one round one. And it looks like Ben Jammy has got to start picking up the pace like he did against Jamie and go through the gears at some point. I mean, we've seen his style. He is an absolute infamous pressure fighter. He doesn't stop punching and he is very sharp with it, just as you saw him rip the right uppercut down the middle there by Ben Jammy.
I think you're right, Pressy. This fight may not go the distance, especially if they keep landing these counter shots, these power shots. Now, one thing that we seen from Ben Jammy when he played Suave Jamie, he kind of poured it on late. And I know you probably take whatever your opponent gives you. And right now, whenever you got some of the more patient fighters in name, you got to push that pace. Versus with Suave Jamie, Ben Jammy was able to sit back a little bit and then pour it on late. But we know Ben Jammy does have that in his toolbox. He can lure you to sleep, and before you know it, he can put that pedal to the metal and just give you all of that, what he has in those later rounds, because his stamina, whenever you got Sugar Ray Leonard, is going to be 96, 98 with his endurance and his conditioning. So you got to be really careful.
Just back and forward stuff here with 1 minute left into the second round. I actually like Ben Jammy was doing that. You see what he just did there? It's every time I say that, it's like they do. So basically, see when Nang's got his guard up, Ben Jammy slightly just tilting to the left, slipping to his left, and throwing that right hand an angle. Why? So it rips through the guard. If you're standing toe to toe to your opponent when you're both in the pocket and he has his guard up, I slip to the left, throw straight right down the pipe, it goes through the guard. Very smart stuff. And he's rarely finding a home for that move against Nang.
All right, that is a good tip, Pressy, there. So, yeah, whenever you use that sidestep, you're not directly in front of your opponent. You're slightly off center, and you can go right down through that guard. That's some good stuff right there, and something to look out. These nuances that these best fighters use. But, man, Pressy, just from the eye test, I'm just seeing a lot of counter shots being landed here by Ben Jammy. I'm not sure who's winning this fight here. We're going to probably get a judge's update here in the third round. Who do you got winning the fight so far?
One round apiece. Very back and forward stuff. But it's going to be, this is one of those fights. It's a matter of time before either the pressure fighter opens up his opponent, or his opponent finds that counter. Like, it's one of two things, because the pressure is just non-stop. But again, with pressure comes the window of opportunity, and that window of opportunity, my friend, is called counter punching, and the counter punches are there to be land. Both guys exchanging in the pocket here in round 3, boxer.
Yeah, wow, what I'm seeing right now, Thomas Hearns letting those hands go, just really showing the sweet science of boxing, able to hit and not get hit. That's exactly what you want to do, and he's doing it at a range, and that's what I'm liking. That's what I'm seeing. He's waiting until he gets in the range where you're slightly out of range of Sugar Ray Leonard, and then you're letting your combinations go. You're not necessarily throwing the combinations when you're in Leonard's range. You want to throw the combination when you're in Hearns' range, which is slightly outside of Leonard's range, where he can't hit you. Then you're kind of more safe to throw it without getting countered. Very smart stuff there by name, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to mitigate all of the pressure that Ben Jammy is applying right here with Sugar Ray Leonard. And look at there, stepping in with a huge, like, look at these combinations, man. These are, at this point, these are combinations of counter punches. These guys are hitting, getting out. And so they're not just hitting and then don't have a game plan. You actually are already thinking 2 steps ahead of your opponent. And look at there. Sugar Ray Leonard and Ben Jammy up 3 rounds to nothing right now. And look at all these counter punches, Pressy. Ben Jammy in control.
Counter punching,
from what the judges
precision, and power, all wrapped in one boxer. And he's really displaying all of it here tonight from one fight to the other. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left into round 4. And look at that, absolutely lighting up his opponent. Nang now. Nang from trying to being the chess master, the man on the back foot, the awkward boxer, to chasing this fight. And chasing this fight is what he's got to do here, because we are nearly halfway. We're not far from halfway through this fight. And it looks like Ben Jammy is so comfortable. He's actually starting to take his foot off the gas ever so slightly, and that is not something that Nang needs. Nang needs high output from his opponent. Nang needs something from his opponent so he can counter punch and utilize his skills.
Yeah, exactly. And one scary thing about Ben Jammy, he knows he's up on these scorecards and he's up in his stamina right now. So he can actually just take his time, and it's going to have to be Nang that has to come through and apply that pressure if Ben Jammy wants the fight to go that way. But right now, taking command of this in the center of the ring right now, and Ben Jammy not getting too close to those ropes. And just staying really in command generalship of that ring. And this right here is really some good boxing here. Some sweet science of boxing that I'm seeing from Ben Jammy. We're seeing it playing out at its highest level, but we've seen this before. Thomas Hearns, out of nowhere, can just one hit a quitter, put you on your back. So you got to be careful here.
Just as you see that, boxer.
Don't stand toe-to-toe with this guy. Keep your distance, all right?
Man, wow. You got to be careful, Thomas Hearns pressing.
Concussion of a punch.
What are you seeing here, Pressy, coming out here in round 5, in the middle of this match?
Just back and forward stuff here. It's a good start for Nang, but eats a right hand. 2 hooks to the body, left uppercut, to right hands, and a series of right hands.
Oh my
God! Ben Jammy, the canvas. Wow.
Pressy, we said it. You can be winning this fight, man, but can you survive Hearns? He doesn't need
really can't write up these fights here tonight, boxer. I mean, you don't find this stuff here at Hollywood, and he's got plenty of time now to build off of that confidence, to go to the game plan and really start going through the gears, doing a job on Ben Jammy here. But Ben Jammy is not phased. He's standing in the middle of the ring. He's standing toe to toe. He's in that phone booth. He's there to be found if you want to find him, and he is not phased. He's just going back to work. He knows he's got the gas tank, he's got the metal, he's got the chin, and he has the IQ to do the job here and get the W over Nang.
All right, so Pressy, this is the thing now. If you're Nang, you know you got the power. You know you got the game plan to knock down Ray Leonard. And you know, but Ben Jammy is also very, very skilled, and you can't take too many of those counter punches. But if you get knocked down time and time again, you may not get back up. But we seen Hearns in that pride fight. Just because you get a knockdown and you win that round, you need to win more than just that round. You got to win the rounds that you don't get knocked down. So the question is, how do you do that when you can't just put your pedal all the way to the metal? You need to win each round, but you need to preserve that power to get these knockdowns to come back. You know, so how do you know how much gas to put on? You know, because you got to be careful there, man. It's going to be tricky.
To be honest, Box, I think Ben Jammy can put the gas on. He can really put the pedal to the metal now, because just looking at the body language and the way Nang is carrying himself, I think that stamina is really starting to deplete. I think he's feeling the pace of this fight. I think the footwork's starting to slow down. I think the legs are starting to stiffen up a bit. I mean, this is a fight for Ben Jammy to actually lose when you come into looking at the last 2 rounds. Even though he did get dropped, I do believe this is a fight that Ben Jammy, it looks like, over the stamina game, it looks like he's got a lot more stamina. It feels that way than Nang. So if Ben Jammy just keeps going to the body, time the ducks, time the slips, throw those hooks to the body, bang that drum. He should be okay to get that W. Maybe even find another knockdown, maybe with a body shot this time.
Yeah, definitely. But what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing Ben Jammy land a lot of counter shots, but we've seen it before. I mean, Hearns, he's just so big. He has that power. He could knock you down. You never know if you could get back up. Man, and it makes for an interesting scenario, but I still got Ben Jammy up. Ben Jammy has been putting it together more frequently for more rounds. And the way that the judges are scoring here tonight, they will award you that round, but they won't award you the entire match. So just because you got a knockdown, that's not going to be enough. So I still think Ben Jammy is in charge here, and he's doing a really good job, especially if he keeps going like this. Round 6 of 10. But yeah, still landing some very powerful counter shots, and all it takes is one, Pressy. You'll be right back down on the mat.
Insane right hook counter there at the end of the round by 9. Good stuff there. It looks like Ben Jammy is, I don't know if he's got a cut or it could be a swelling. It could be a swelling. They didn't show us, we didn't get to see him between rounds, but the damage is there. I mean, it's 3 rounds. The doctor's not really looking at it. The referee's not really worried too much about it. He's not panicking. He's there. It looks like he's winning the fight, but Nang is in this fight. He's not to be written off, but he's got to find something, and he's got to find something sooner than later here, boxer.
Yeah, and the thing that makes Thomas Hearns so dangerous, he has a straight to the head that's 20, and a right hook to the head that's a 20. So I mean, if you're right hook and you're straight, I mean, a lot of the punches that you throw are going to be at max level. So you got to be careful here. But yeah, that cut may pay dividends a little bit later. In this fight, doesn't seem like it's they're worrying about it too much. But look, this might be what you want to do. You want to back Leonard up into a corner press. You want to back him up into where is wearing on his stamina and where you can reach him. He has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And then you want to start letting those combinations go. Let's see if Nane can get back to his Thomas Hearns range and then start landing those combinations outside of Sugar Ray Leonard's range, or back him up into a corner and then start welling away using that 20-20 head and straight damage that you can do with Hearns. But it's going to be easier said than done, President.
Well, Nang can back him in the corner, and he has backed him in the corner a few times, boxer. But very oddly, Ben Jammy is actually comfortable with being in the corner. You saw that he didn't try and rush out. He didn't try and go crazy and try change the angles, step to one of the sides. He just chilled. He just looked comfortable. He just looked like he was, laying back on the ropes there. Good defense on the body shots, from the body shots. I mean, he actually looking a bit comfortable, which is very frightening. Very frightening. If I'm up against someone like that, and they're just laying on the ropes. Look at the judges' unofficial scorecard. They're boxer, but I'd be very frightened if my opponent was comfortable with sitting on the ropes there and absorbing my shots.
Yeah, exactly. See, one of the Achilles heel from Thomas Hearns, the body shots are not as powerful. We talking about left and right body hook, left and right uppercut to the body, all 9 and under. So you don't really you can sit there and just hold that block and kind of eat those body shots, not over and over, but they're not the most powerful shots. Talking about when Thomas Hearns goes up top, it's more than twice as effective. So that's one thing you want to look out for when you're using Thomas Hearns. But Ben Jammy, that's why he's able just to be comfortable in that pocket. It looks like now coming down toward 6, 7, and 8th round pressing, they're ready to let these hands go, and they're ready to start taking a little bit more chances. That's why you see this camera shake. That's why you see all of these flashes. These counter punches are landing, and it seems like, boy, if somebody doesn't be careful, somebody is going to be tasting that mat again, and especially when you're backing up Hearns. When you're backing up Sugar Ray Leonard and you're putting together all of these counter punches, it could be early. But Pressy, we've seen it before. Ben Jammy, he knows what he's doing. Very technical. He has this under control, and he survived that storm there from Thomas Hearns.
He is, and he's right. He's trying to do now. Boxer, he's trying to trigger that counter. So when he's far out of range, exactly where he was a second ago, he's expecting one of those leaping straight body punches from Nang. So when he was standing out of range there like that, but it was to the body, so Nang would leap into the body, but not connect. He'd fall short, and then Ben Jammy would initiate the counter shot, and he was just getting the count. It was literally, it's a smart move. But Nang shouldn't have been jumping. It was kind of giving it to him. It's like he put the counters there on the plate. You should just take your time, stick with your IQ, stick with what you do well, and try find something else, because he's got to be careful there. Ben Jammy teed on him twice, and you know what? This is frightening, because when you watch Ben Jammy's style, right, he does things that are dangerous to do. Like, they look like he would lead he would lead in out of range with a left uppercut straight right down the pipe, but he's confident in what he's doing, because if he misses that and you fire back, he's ready to counter that. So he's ready to counter your counter, which is like Mayweather level stuff. And this is coming from a pressure fighter. He's not even a counter puncher like that. He's shown nothing but pure pressure, and this is a breath of fresh air. This is beautiful to see, absolutely beautiful to watch, and I've missed seeing this high level stuff here.
Yeah, definitely. When you talk about boxing and then the sweet science of hitting and not getting hit and countering the counter, rolling punches and all of this stuff, this is what the sweet science of boxing is all about. Now, what we're going to see here in round 9 and round 10, we're going to start seeing a lot more counterpunch opportunities present themselves, especially as Nang tries to pull on that pressure and change the complexion of this fight, because he knows he's down in the scorecards, Pressy. The only thing that he can do right now is get a knockout. So he's going to have to pull on that pressure, but he's going to have to do it smart and effectively. And he has the opportunity, because Ben Jammy isn't just going to sit back and just collect his win. Ben Jammy actually wants to get a knockout. He's like, he wants to have some highlights of his own, because he tasted the canvas, so he wants to get a knockdown again. So, man, here we go. We're going to see a lot of these counter punches land, just like I said, and you never know what can happen. At a blink of an eye, just like that, things can change.
Absolutely here, but he's got to take his time, because he doesn't want to go for broke. There's only 25 seconds left in a round, so 10 seconds left in a round, I beg your pardon. So it's a case of, right, let's go back to the corner, talk about the final round, see what the coach is instructing to do. Does it, does he go out on his shield, which is what I would expect them to advise him to do, and how does he go about it, trying to turn things around and get a KO here, or maybe a few knockdowns. But it's the last round, and he's really got to do something here. He's bloodied up. He looks battered. He looks hurt. I mean, I think he's really struggling here to get his breath, and you can see his mouth wide open here. He looks very slow on his feet. This is a case of, can Ben Jammy just get the right punches in at the right time? Look, toe-to-toe stuff here, Ben Jammy. He's really trying to press for that KO right in his face, not trying to give any room to breathe. He's rocked.
Oh, wow, almost threw the rope, Pressy. You was not down there from Ben Jammy.
Wow. Referee counts to 3 to 4. And Nang's taking his time here.
Oh, he's taking his time, Pressy.
Every bit of recovery that he can, and gets up on the 8 count. He has 2 minutes to get a KO here. It's time to kill or be killed for Nang. Can he do anything here? Ben Jammy isn't happy with a points victory. He's right in Nang's face, so he is there to be stopped. But can Nang find the stoppage here in the final round with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, Boxer?
Man, yeah, he's got to be careful, because right now, this is where Ben Jammy saves up all of his gas and all of his energy for these last 2 rounds. We see what Ben Jammy does throughout. He puts a lot of damage on you, but in the last round, he really pours it on, and he just changes the whole complexion of this match. He's going to let these hands go. He's going to let these hands fly. So you're going to have some opportunities, but you may have to hit to get hit. You might have to get one to take one. So, and you may not take it as good as that what he can at this point in the fight. And they're going back and forth pressing.
Massive, huge right hands there. Just stops Ben Jammy in his tracks.
Wow, they
20
need a break.
seconds left into this fight. Can Nang find something here? Whips a huge left hook. Ben Jammy does not capitalize. 10 seconds left in the round, and it looks like we will be going to the judges' scorecards for this one, and I can only assume that they're going to give this one to Ben Jammy, that may be going into the finals, who will be facing Boxing Fanatico. Let's see what the judges' scorecards are looking like here. And they gave it to Ben Jammy, the rightful winner of this bout in the second semi-final in EBL1 $200 tournament here. Look at that wide victory here for Ben Jammy. Hats off to Ben Jammy, solid competitor, and appreciate Nang for taking part. Absolute beast in himself.
Wow, man. I couldn't have asked for anything better. The whole tournament has been nothing but banger fights after banger fights. Now, when we see Boxing Fanatico versus Ben Jammy, these are 2 of the most technical fighters that we've seen tonight. And I can't wait to see these guys clash. But that fight there, Pressy, it shows you how careful you got to be with Thomas Hearns. He definitely has the power to put you on the mat, but you got to string it together.